something like that. I was probably pretty sloppy, but I'm sure you'll do much better. Much better than I. Alrighty, so hello, Chris. This is Warren, obviously. I'm just thankful that you've been super, super chill and laid back about um, the time frame for this. I'm really sorry due to extreme uh, illness and extreme travel and just plain putting a lot more work into this than I thought I would actually have to. Um, Here I am finally with the tutorial for Southern Belle. And this song has a lot more than I initially thought going on underneath the surface. So, of course, I wouldn't charge you for more than what I estimated. I just want to make sure that you understand that when I go through this tutorial, there's going to be a lot of stuff. So try and make it as simple and quick as possible. I have included a document so that you can visually see what's happening in the music. Okay, so this document is a kind of a guide to the structure of the song, and it's detailed by the the right side of the document, which is going to basically provide a few little notes here and there where the main part of the document is not totally self-explanatory. So expand this document all the way. You might want to have a second monitor or something like that so you can kind of follow along with it as you're watching and listening. But the left side of the document, the body of it, is essentially a visual representation of what's happening in the song as you follow along. So I've talked about the different sections the song's broken up into, and for example, it goes intro, main verse, pre-chorus part 1, pre-chorus part 2, which has sections A and B in it. You'll see why later. The chorus, and then it has the bridge and a little bit about the ending. And the song is just crazy. It's just got so much going on. Elliott Smith he's like a songwriting genius. The way he's arranged everything, this song structure is really cool. But please, please, please take your time with this tutorial. I hope that it's really helpful to you and you learn a lot from it, and most importantly that you get to enjoy one of your favorite songs kind of in a new light. Only thing I need to explain additionally is that in the body of the visual representation of what's happening in the song, you're going to see 1 E-end, a 2 E-end, a 3 E-end, a 4 E-end across the top of the page. And that is your kind of rhythmic guide. Okay, so if you've watched tutorials of mine before, you would know that I like to count along to show you the strumming pattern and count along to show you exactly where little chord transitions or melodic bits are placed in terms of the timing of the song. So as you follow along, I'm going to count along and show you where each one of those things fit. You'll hear it, and then so using those two things, you'll hopefully get it. It takes time, and don't expect this song to be at all sounding polished, the first go round. But yeah, this is gonna be worth it because it's super awesome song. So there's that rhythm, and then there's chords. I've written chord names. Sorry, this is a pretty long intro to the video, but the chord names are there, and then there's these little numbers, and you can see these numbers there. What are these numbers doing? Well, these numbers represent little melodic bits, okay? So they're just parts of the scale, and so you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and you're gonna see a flat 6 here and there, or I'm not sure if that's there, but you're gonna see these different notes, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, I don't tell you exactly where they are in the document, but as you follow along with the video, I'll tell you where to place your fingers. There won't be any confusion regarding where to put your fingers. But the numbers are there because it just takes up less space in the document, and it helps you understand a little bit more about the song if you're a student of music theory. So the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are just the degrees of the C major scale. So that's how you distinguish chords from melody in this song. Because if you know Elliott Smith, he doesn't just do chords, he does melodic stuff on the guitar. And the chords even imply melodies, which is a crazy feature of his songs. But without any further ado, here is the tuning. It's going to be D standard, which means you're going to tune everything down a whole step. So E goes down to D, A goes down to G, and this becomes C, this is F, this is A, this is D. Okay, so even though this looks like a D major chord shape, it's going to sound like a C. So I'm going to refer to it as a C because that's what it is. Okay, so not a G, this is an F. Okay, so you'll see as we go along how to kind of do it. There's a chord legend at the bottom of the document. So I spent a lot more time on the document than I'm going to spend making this tutorial. So make sure you read the document. It's like got everything in there, okay? So we're gonna get into the tutorial now, finally, and the intro is gonna start like this. You can do your C major, okay? Which looks like a D, but it's a C. 1 and 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. Okay, and what am I doing there? I'm doing it with my thumb and index finger on the 4th and 2nd strings. And I'm just going to do the 1st degree of the scale. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the 8th degree of the scale. 1, 8, 1, 8, 1, 8. Octave. And we do it super fast. You sound like Elliott Smith, but you know, it's going to take some work to get it to sound that nice and clean. And then in the 2nd measure, you can do one of these. You're going to strum the whole chord with a little upstroke because it's on an up strum there. So you're going to go 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and on the and of the of 4, sorry about that. The of 4 right there, okay? 2 and a 3 and a 4 E and okay? And you're going to keep going after that. You're not going to do it dramatically like I did. You're going to go. Sorry. You're going to keep doing it with your thumb and your index finger, and then you're going to do your main riff. Okay, what is that? What is going on there? So you're going to go. It's going to do this thing the very first time of the first 4 times you're going to play the verse. Sorry about that. You're going to go C, F, C. So you can go 1 and 2 to start off this main riff, to kick it off. I didn't do that earlier. I'm sorry about that. So you kick off the main riff, and then you can do this F minor 7 over C. This is XX0331. So you're going to go 1 and 2 E and a 3, 1 and 2 E and a 3, 1 and 2 E and a 3, and 4. You're going to do a beat 4 on right here. You're going to go like this. Middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4. You can do it with your thumb. Your thumb follows the bass movement, okay? And these little dots that you're seeing on top of the chords, they're just, you know, strums. So you keep strumming. So 1 and 2 E and a 4 and 4 like that. That's your 5th degree of the scale. And then you're going to do a open 3rd string on the end of 4. So it'll sound like this. 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and then you're gonna go 1 on beat 1. You're gonna do an E flat chord XX3211. So 1 and 2, and you can do this chord G7 over D XX2020. Okay, so I'll show you that again in context. 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. See that chord there? 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. So it's hard to do that, but once you get up to that point, okay, you feel very accomplished. Now you can tackle the hardest part in the entire song. If you can tackle this next part, you have nothing to worry about. It's all downhill from here. So it's gonna go like this. Okay, so what is that? I'm gonna do this strum down, and then I'm gonna do an up strum and let go of my ring finger, okay? And then I'm gonna hammer my ring finger back to where it was before, 2nd fret, 2nd string. using my index finger to pluck it. And then I'm going to go first string, see that? And then hammer there, okay? Sorry. And then I'm going to do a couple strums, and then I'm going to let go. Super weird, but once you're gonna kind of do that in context, it's gonna totally sound awesome. So you'll see it. Sorry. And there it is. It's kind of this weird syncopated thing, and so you're gonna hammer on the beat, which is always really strange to do if you're familiar with this technique, hammering on. And then you're gonna do the open strings on the offbeats, the E's and the U's. And it takes a while to put together, but once you do, it just loops back to the beginning. It's just like super cool. After that, you're gonna do it another 3 times. The main riff repeats. But the thing is with the main riff, that F and that C, that's only in the first of the 4, okay? So you only play that the first of every 4 phrases. So first time we'll go like this. Second time we'll just go. See that? So it doesn't do that crazy chord switch right there, okay? So now moving along, it goes back to the intro riff after that. And then it goes to the verse, and he's gonna start singing. So that's your first verse, he starts singing, okay? And then you're gonna get to the pre-chorus. Just keep following along with the document. The pre-chorus is going to be divided, like I said earlier, to part 1 and then part 2, A and B. So here comes pre-chorus part 1. So as you can see, the document tells you 1 and 2 E and and it's doing the C minor 7 chord. What's that? It's XX0211. 3 and 4 E and which is your F add 2 over C, which is XX0203. Okay, and it's gonna cycle between these 3 chords over and over again. Now, if you know folk songs, it's really interesting that this is doing 3 chords, because most folk songs use 2 or 4 chords per section or stanza, you know, and this is like 3 chords. It's kind of cycling. It's really weird. It's got 3 lines to this section too. And so what you're gonna do is you're gonna go 1 and 2 E and it's gonna be on the up strum when you switch, and 4 E and 4 E. So it's gonna keep switching on the up strum after the first chord. So 1 and 2 E and 4 E and and 2 E and and 2 E and 4 E. Okay, and so it's kind of weird like that, but it sounds cool once you get it moving really fast, and takes you directly into pre-chorus part 2A. Okay, now you might be asking, why do I say 2A and 2B? Well, because those 2 sections are broken up later, and they're going to do some repetitions, and it's going to be pretty cool. So pre-chorus part 2A is going to go, okay, and you don't really strum that first one because you got the strum from the previous section. Pre-chorus part 1 ends on this chord, and you're just kind of lingering. You see that? So I didn't really have to strum again when part 2 started, because the chord is still lingering from the previous section, okay? And you're gonna go, and you're gonna strum kind of just nothing, right? This is a muted strum, which is why that X is there in the document. And then you're gonna do an A flat, and you do a little muted strum, and then an up strum on G. So that's X13331, and then X02220. You notice I'm using one finger here, super easy if you don't already do that, I would try to make it a habit. It's totally awesome. So 1 E right there, 3 and that muted strum comes right before the up strum of the G there. So you're gonna go. Okay, and then you're gonna do a 2 or a 4. This is a 4. This is your 3rd fret 6th string, or a open 6th string. Open 6th string is easier, but sometimes Elliott Smith does that one. So you're gonna go or super down tune. You get it's more buzzy, but anyway. And you're gonna go to E flat 1 3 3 2 1 1, and altogether it sounds like this. Sound like da 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 da. It's kind of how the chord progression is supposed to make you think of that melody. It's pretty cool. It's implied. So bum, 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 or bum, 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 open 6th string there, and then you can do an up strum on the G. So bum, 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 2 E and up. You see that? Up strum. And then you're gonna mute, okay? So you kind of be kind of dramatic about it, and then you're gonna do 4 slide to 5, which is your 3rd fret 1st string to your 5th fret 1st string again, right? You slide it, and then you're gonna go 4 slide to 3, which is your 3rd fret 1st string to your 2nd fret, and then you play your 3rd fret 2nd string. So you're gonna go. Okay, so one wasn't clean, but that's part A. Okay, so the times that you're gonna see part A actually repeat, you're gonna have that section kind of going over and over again. You notice he does that at the end of the song, which we'll get to later, and so you're gonna keep repeating A, which is why we can't lump them together. Parts A and B are distinct. Okay, so pre-chorus part 2 is essentially the same thing, except you don't go just like the main riff in the beginning. You only do it that first time there. You go 1 and 2 E and a 3, 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and you don't do. Okay, so it's the same thing as pre-chorus 2A, except it's a little bit more simple, right? It's easier. It doesn't have all that fancy stuff. And the last difference is, if you're really itching for, getting all the accuracy, is this chord comes in on beat 3 instead of the of 2 in part 2B. Okay, so far so good, wonderful. I would say take a break from this if you're still watching and it's your first time through the song. Take a break right now, go get some rest, and then come back for the chorus. So here comes the chorus: 1 and 2 E and a 3 and 4 E and a 1. Super straightforward. It's just a bunch of chords and same strum. So it's going to be A flat to a B, which is X 4 6 6 6 4, E flat, which you know, G, which you know, A flat, which you know, back to B, which you know now, and then to D, and then C to a G, okay, C, G, which you already know, okay. So it's just going to be the strum. Apply it to the chord progression. Elliott Smith is playing with his fingers this one, so that's why I'm doing it. And then it ends back to the main. So if you notice, I just did the main riff a second time, but the melody went down what is that? That's your 5th string, 1st fret, open 5th string, and then 3rd fret, 6th string, 1st fret, 6th string, and so it's the same thing as the main riff, but you do it an octave down. And so 1, 3, 2, like that, okay? And you don't do it with the hammer-ons the second time. So the first time is, and the second time, so notice no hammer-ons there, okay? So the last thing you do is, in this section, is you do your A chord, but you do it like this with your full index finger on the 4th through 2nd strings, and you do your open 6th string to complete the bass melody there, okay? So the main riff, it's the same there, except it's just an octave down and no hammer-ons, okay? Then you are going to come to the home stretch of the song now. Final verse to the final pre-chorus, part 1, and then you got this bridge that splits effectively the pre-chorus part 1 from the pre-chorus part 2. Okay, so this bridge is a new section. Okay, so you're gonna 1, 2, and a 3, and 4, and a 1, and 2, and a 3, and 4. Walk up. So how do you play that? That's C and E flat over B flat, which is X 3 3 2 1 1. And then a F over A, which is your same as your G shape here, except you're not playing your 6th string, you're muting. You're gonna do it in a bass with your thumb, and then you go the full F chord. You'll hear that little distinction there. And then back to your C, okay? So I'll show you that, just that much. 1 and 2, and a 3, and 4, and a 1 and 2, 1 and 2. You hear that bass note. 1 and 2, and a 3, and 4, and a 1 and 2, and a 1 and 2, and 3. Okay? And 3, sorry. And 1, beat 1, not 3. E flat sus4 is your next chord after you walk up. Okay? So that's XX 3 3 1 1. And it's going to go to XX 3 2 1 1. And what was that walk up? It was 2nd fret, 4th string with your middle finger. So you're going to go D chord, D shape, I mean, C chord. I'm confusing myself, I'm sorry. C chord, walk up. So that's kind of a weird rhythm. And you're going to go 1 and 2 E and 1 and 2 switch, 1 and 2 switch. So it's going to 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 switch, and 1 and 2 switch. So you'll see when you kind of put that together, you end on this chord, the whole thing will sound like this. 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 switch. And that's your final chord in that bridge section. And now you're going to go to the pre-chorus. 4 times. 4 times there, and then you're going to do pre-chorus part 2, B, 3 times, okay? And you're going to do Kill the Southern Belle, Kill Southern Belle, Kill the Southern Belle, which is nice because he's not normally singing that section over the pre-chorus. He's normally singing that under the verse chords. So it's really cool how he thought of 2 different ways to play the same chord progression. You realize pre-chorus and main riff are really just the same thing, but delivered differently with different rhythms and different kind of tricky stuff going on in the fingers, but they're essentially the same chord progression. And then you're going to finish after that with the main riff 1 octave down again. And finish with your C chord. And so we've done that octave down thing from the main riff before, the last verse when we did 2 main riffs and one was normal, and one was an octave down with no hammer on. So if you remember, you could just skip back to that. So right now, I'm concerned about my video length, but I'm gonna just go for it and try to show you how to play the whole thing all the way through slow. So here it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Super slow. Kind of just do that, right? Okay. I forgot how long it is. Excuse me. I'm gonna do it again from the beginning. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 4 times. The verse. Pre-chorus. Again with 2 A's, B. My page has to scroll down. I'm sorry about that. It's gonna go to the chorus. Pre-chorus. And that's it. Okay. Bridge. Four times. Southern Belle, kill Southern Belle, kill Southern Belle. And that's the ending. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to stitch it all together for you. I just couldn't contain the song in my head. But that's what the document is for. Learn each section, spend as much time as you need on each section. Don't move on to the next part till it's absolutely comfortable, the part that you're working on, right? And then you move to that new section, and in the end you just pull the two together and like try to make it seamless when you go from one section and transition to the other. Believe it or not, it sounds obvious, but people don't know how to practice this way, where you practice in bits, where you break it up and you totally put it back together afterwards. People are kind of frustrated when they can't do the whole thing all at once. I know I could speak for myself on that one, but the thing is, the work that you're doing on each section, it'll show when you put together the whole thing. You won't have any weak parts. None of the areas of the song will be weak if you give each part the attention that it needs. But that's pretty much it, man. I hope you really, really enjoy this and learn a lot from it, of course. Be happy to work for you again if you should require my services. But awesome stuff, dude. I hope to see a cover of this one day at a coffee shop or on a YouTube channel or whatever. It was very enjoyable and enriching for me, and I appreciate you reaching out and asking me to do this. Okay? So take care, Chris, and best of luck.